Alright guys, remember if you like these videos, this usual like, sub, silly, comment, share, support the channel if you want. I appreciate it. I guess I'm gonna talk over this stuff that I've talked over before already. Technically I've talked about some of this stuff for years now, but whatever. Because in comments again and a live stream again, I see dudes saying, well, why don't they just reflect? And I said many times, dude, it doesn't matter per se if they reflect because it's stuff that you're going to do anyway. All this stuff generally goes into each other. It doesn't matter if they reflect anyway because it's the same thing anyway. Them reflecting doesn't change your game plan. The only kind of game plan you can do is you can do some falling Banshee Blast stuff, I guess, you know what I mean? But generally speaking, you're doing this shit anyway. Also, with the bug that I showed, reflecting is risky because if they reflect during certain parts, a bug happens which then puts the sassy kick at +4. And if they mash reflect, they get hit by potentially any sequence you're going to do anyway. And if they try to time the reflect, you can still get opened up because you have to time it and you're already doing different things in the first place. Speaking of timing, you got to remember you're doing a fireball bug, so you have to guess the timing when you're doing it. You're doing the same thing anyway. Like, what is the confusion here? Again, for what it's worth, the reflect bug does not even have to be done after a fireball. It's just that you're going for the reflect bug, the reflect bug that I showed in the first place, so you can make it so the guy can't homing dash or reflect out of this stuff in the first place. So they work synergistically, dude. So in that sense, yes, you are trying to time and you're going for the fireball bug. That's what you're going for. But people are like, you can't react to the sassy kick bug. You're not trying to do the sassy kick bug. The sassy kick bug is a side effect that happens if the guy actually tries to get out of it. The quotation marks is the only time you would be going for the reflect bug per se is off a lightsaber or off a light, whatever. You know what I mean? Then you could do a medium sassy kick, or off some other normals, you know, you could do an EX sassy kick. But that's, you know, solo speaking. But again, you're not going for the sassy kick bug. The sassy kick bug is an added side effect, a wanted side effect, and it's off stuff you're doing anyway. The only bug you're going for is the fireball bug specifically, because that lets you do the safe Banshee Blast stuff, all this kind of shit. And of course, remember, while you're doing all this stuff, speaking of Banshee Blast, you're doing like a vanish install, you do a quick little level 3 pump. It's a little bit of sketchy insurance, but it's still there. So why would you not do it, right? And during this video, I also showed off the homing dash stuff in the corner just because, that's something that not many characters can do, actually. Hell, Vegito might be one of the only characters that can actually do it in a sort of strangely more real way than it looks. A lot of characters can't just punish this in a normal way. It's kind of cool, and like I said there, I'll show a reflect thing, and even if you try to reflect out of it, you're safe. And since you're going for the fireball bug into this in the first place, well, guess what? It also works synergistically with everything, because the opponent has to guess or else the fireball bug happens. Again, and it all works into each other. Again, once you're in the corner, the sassy kick, becomes a little bit of a slightly more liability, because you're right up in the opponent's junk if the guy doesn't reflect. So in that sense, the only time that you would be reacting to something, generally more speaking, would be, again, what I talked about, the light, because then you light medium sassy kick. But that you would lessen doing that because you're so close to the opponent. But that mid-screen sweet spot range that I've been talking about for years, there's nothing to stop you from doing that per se. Does that make sense? I mean, is this the 20th video on this? I don't know. Remember to like the videos, like, sub, support the channel. I appreciate it. Thanks.